In boxing, a sure thing doesn't exist. Every punch a winning and losing chance. But when you're Mr. Mandatory like Sam Goodman, there's an ace up the sleeve. That ace, a guaranteed title shot against the monster. Pound for pound king, Naoya Inoue. Goodman doesn't even need to be at the table.
Hit me. I'm all in.
Wednesday, he's risking it all against the undefeated and world-ranked Thai powerhouse, Chainoi the Rockman Worawut. And he's not the only gambler on the card. Two-time world champion contender Liam Wilson backs himself up to lightweight against high roller Yousef Dib. And it's a high-stakes cross-code battle as Curtis Scott takes on big bad Barry Hall, who's nowhere near ready to cash in his chips. It's the ultimate risk versus reward night of high-stakes boxing. Wednesday, we're going all in. Live and exclusive from Wollongong on your home of big-time boxing main event.
Oh yeah, if you love high-stakes boxing, you don't want to miss this next Wednesday night live from the Wollongong Entertainment Centre. But thanks so much for joining us today for our open workouts. Main event's Ben Damon is alongside me, and No Limit boss George Rose, who is of course the brains behind this blockbuster card that really does have something for everyone. It's got the big boys, it's got the lightweights, Sam Goodman as our headline act in a fight that really could make or break his career.
Yeah, absolutely. He's rolling the dice on this one. He's putting it all on the line, and it's a fight that I think will be a very entertaining one that he's going to have to be able to dodge some big punches and really put on a show for his crowd. He's coming back home to Wollongong. All the pressure's on Sam.
All right, well, let's have a closer look at this card. I'll let you talk us through it, Ben, starting with rising star Billy Polkinghorne, who fight fans are really going to enjoy getting to know next Wednesday night.
Yeah, he's just behind us going through his paces, but he'll kick off the show. A former amateur star who's had just the one professional fight so far. He takes on a very confident opponent in Jordan Caselleras, who was just going through his paces a moment ago. Then a really exciting heavyweight fight. We saw Brandon Gratch in a runaway fight of the year last year against Liam Taliva'a. Well, he goes in tough again. 6-0 with 5 knockouts is John Malia from Queensland. That is our heavyweight showdown, the second on the pay-per-view card. Munir Fati, well, he was upset last year. He's a very talented boxer. He has just the one loss in his 7 professional fights. He's just come off a training camp in Japan, and he takes on Anton Markovic, who turned giant killer for us in a big fight earlier this year. Then, well, this could be the fight of the night. Liam Wilson and Yousef Dib, 2 fighters with it all on the line. Liam Wilson, of course, has had 2 shots at world titles so far. He has come up short, and now he goes up to lightweight and takes on the only once beaten Yousef Dib, who sees a big chance and a big opportunity in this fight. Then it's the heavyweights, the former footballers in Barry Hall, looking for his first professional win, can you believe it, against the undefeated Curtis Scott. Looking forward to seeing them in action. And then it is our main event with Sam Goodman putting it all on the line. It is a world title eliminator, effectively. He takes on Chainoi Worawut, the man who calls himself Rockman from Thailand. He's flying in today, so we haven't been able to lay eyes on him just yet, but can't wait to see him in the flesh, because it's a tough fight and a very meaningful fight for Sam Goodman.
Yeah, very, very impressive card. We're going to see a number of those fighters in action today and have a chat to them as well, starting with Yousef Dib and Liam Wilson. But first, a little taste of what you can expect next Wednesday night.
This will be my comeback fight from my last fight in Arizona against Oscar Valdez.
Valdez has bad intentions here, and the fight is over!
We're going to see Liam Wilson coming off his world title challenge against Yousef Dib. What an outstanding fight that will be.
15 years of hard work in boxing. These are the moments that you strive towards. These are the moments that you train so hard for.
Anything could happen in this fight. Everything is on the line.
If I lose here, I don't know where else I would go.
Another defeat is staring at a barrel of possibly my career ending.
I enjoy being in this position. I've had to recline and bounce back many times before.
Yeah, every fight's a risk, but beating Liam Wilson far outweighs it. He's fought in world level fights. That's where I want to be.
I know what I'm made of. I know I can bounce back from defeat. I have to win this fight.
Yeah, a really important fight for both men next Wednesday night. Yousef Dib, he's in the ring behind us. He's having a bit of a skip at the moment. Liam Wilson's been good enough to join us. Liam, great to see you. A really tough fight as you look to get your career back on track and also make your debut at lightweight. How are you feeling with less than a week to go?
Yeah, look, I'm feeling really good. This move to lightweight's exciting for me. I feel much better, refreshed, energised, and I'll put in a good hard camp. I'm ready for Yousef Dib come next Wednesday night, and I'm ready.
Yeah. How do you find it having maybe that little bit more weight on and having a bit more power in your punches?
Yeah, look, I'm excited. We'll see what happens come fight night. As of training, it's been pretty surreal. Like just feeling much more refreshed. Right now, I feel very good, and that's all I can go off. So I'm excited to put it all to play on fight night, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Liam, you're renowned as a puncher. How do you feel, though, when you're throwing your left hook in particular with a little bit more weight on those punches? Do you feel like you're going to be even more powerful up at lightweight?
Look, I think so. In training, it's been going very good. I feel much stronger in sparring, and I know sparring is different to fighting, so we'll see next Wednesday night. I feel strong. I feel much more energised than what I used to, and we'll see what we might say after that.
Have a look behind you. This is Yousef Dib. Clearly, you've seen a lot of him over the years, but now you're just watching him move around, and clearly he won't be giving away too much. But tell us about what you know about Yousef Dib, the boxer.
Yeah, look, Yousef is a very experienced campaigner. He's been around for years. He's in very good hands, a great corner, and I know my team and his team are up against each other as well. I feel like I have him covered in all bases. I've fought a much more high opposition than what he has. And I'm ready, man. Like, it's going to be a tough opposition. He's putting a good hard camp for me. So I'm sure he's kind of put a halt to the party. But we're going to win this fight. I'm ready. I'm motivated. I'm pumped. I want to show Australia I haven't left. I've lost 2 fights recently against Navarrete and Valdez. It's very unfortunate. They're 2 very credible fighters. And, I'm going to show Australia that I haven't left.
He's had you earmarked, you as someone that he wanted to fight. Is he someone that you thought that you would eventually take on?
Look, to be honest, I never thought I was going to go to lightweight. I made the decision after my last fight. I've been at super featherweight for quite some years now. I figured this fight here would anticipate a fight with me and George Kambosos. I know in the past he's called him out. I want the fight. I'm purely treating this fight and training camp as a fighter for George Kambosos. So, look, let's get the win next Wednesday, get through Yui, and see what's next.
Yeah, that fight between the winner here and George Kambosos is a huge domestic fight, but this man here, he's so confident that he's going to cause what would be an upset against you. Tell us about what you see as the risks that he might provide to you on Wednesday night. What are his main strengths, Yousef Dib?
Look, I think, he's a fighter, right? He has a lot to fight for. He has a beautiful family just like myself. So we're going to hop in the ring and we'll see who wants some more. He's got a great corner, and I'm very aware of that. I believe I do as well. I put in a good hard camp. I'm ready for him. I feel like my opposition is far more experienced than what he is, but I'm not taking nothing away from him. I haven't moved past him at all. I put in a good hard camp. I'm moving up to lightweight, but I think I've fought here before. I fought welterweight before as well. So I think the move up is going to do me so much benefit. And look, I'm just excited for this fight.
You were pretty much saying this was an experiment. You were going to see how you felt at lightweight, but a week out, are you pretty convinced you're at lightweight from now on?
Look, yeah, I think so. Like, it'd be pretty hard getting a super featherweight. I see my weight on the scales. I'm like, damn, I know I do that.
You look healthier.
Yeah, no, I feel better. I feel much better. But hey, we'll put it all to play come fight night.
You do have a black eye, though. So does just about every boxer in the building here. Curtis Scott's just over there. Yeah. He's got a big black eye. Brandon Gratch has got a huge black eye as well. You?
Well, I didn't do the dishes last night. So the missus played up.
We'll let you go in a sec, but just tell us, remind us of how important this fight is for you. Is this sort of last chance saloon for you?
Look, for me, this isn't last chance at all. I'm obviously here to redeem myself, show the public that I haven't left. I lost to 2 very good fighters in the past. I came back from a win against Chainoi, but I haven't left anywhere. I've lost to very credible opponents. I'm a fighter. I've had a few losses on my record, but I believe I was built for this. I'm made for combat. I don't believe he is.
Did you have to do anything to get this mindset? Because I know after losses you can take them very hard, but and being with you after the Oscar Valdez fight, you were clearly hurting a lot, but you're very positive. You seem to have really taken this in your stride. Did you have to do much mentally to get to this point?
Look, Ben, as you know, I've been here many times before, unfortunately. But you know, I believe this is what I was made to do. You know, fighting, and unfortunately losses do come with that sometimes. And you know, I just have to show everyone I haven't left. And you know, I love this stuff. You know, it's unfortunate that I've lost in the past, but I haven't gone anywhere. I'll show you come Wednesday night, and we'll come up a win.
We can't wait to see you back in the ring, Liam. We'll let you go and get organised because you're about to hop in the ring.
Thank you.
Watch those eyes. And Yui's...
Cheers, Liam. We'll see you
Good on
soon.
you, Liam. Thank you. Yui's going to come and join us for a chat in a moment. But in your mind, just how important is this fight for Liam? I mean, can you see him getting back on the world stage and fulfilling that dream, hopefully, of being a world champion one day?
Well, if he loses this fight, no. Quite frankly, this would be just about the end of the road for Liam Wilson as a true world title contender. He's been there twice before. He should have won that fight against Emmanuel Navarrete. He should be a former or a reigning world champion at the moment because of that fight. Then he took on Oscar Valdez. He fought brilliantly early in that fight, and then he lost his discipline. He tried to go into an all-Mexican war with the Mexican star in Valdez, and he got stopped in the 7th round of that fight. Now he goes up to lightweight. He's taking on Yousef Dib, who has designs on these sorts of runs himself. They both want to fight against George Kambosos if they get through this fight. But yeah, the loser here, it's pretty tricky for them to get back into the big time, at least any time soon. So given Liam Wilson would be 13-4 as a professional, incredible to think that with everything that he's done, that could potentially be his boxing record after this fight. This is a vital, vital fight for Liam Wilson.
We have said in the past how dangerous Liam can be, though, when he's coming back from a loss. But do you think he is the same fighter that he was, you know, 2 years ago, 12 months ago, or do you think those couple of world title losses have taken their toll? I'm
blown away by the attitude that he just had with us here, because sometimes with these losses he can really take them to heart and they can really start to erode him mentally and play a part. You see that sometimes when he comes back from those big fights and has a fight back here in Australia. It's not the same level, it's not the same version, but clearly he's done a lot of work. He's thought through this and he's trying to take that loss against Oscar Valdez in his stride, and the attitude that he just showed us is really refreshing and I think should be a bit scary for Yousef Dib, because this version of Liam Wilson is truly world class, and we've seen that a couple of times overseas, and you just get the impression we're going to see it again next Wednesday night. What
about making the move up to lightweight? Because we have seen fighters in the past go up a division and it hasn't gone to plan. Yeah. What are some of the challenges that he might encounter in the ring next week?
Well, he's in there with a naturally bigger guy, but you do have to remember that Liam Wilson was a welterweight as an amateur, so essentially he's just learnt to lose weight since then. He's been campaigning at super featherweight. He goes up one division. It's not a lot in terms of kilos, but just to have those extra kilograms at this point of a preparation, you can see how much happier he is. His voice is clear. He's not stuttering and stammering around the place as sometimes he does when he strips all that weight away. He's much more comfortable, he looks ready to go, and I think we'll see a difference, particularly on weigh-in day, because you get a really good read on Liam Wilson and how he's going to perform when he's on the scales and straight afterwards. If you go and talk to him and see how he's saying his words, how he's feeling, how he's looking, you get a really good read, and you get the impression he's going to be just okay after the weigh-in next week. So that's a really positive thing for him.
We've heard Liam talk a lot about George Kambosos. We're going to have a chat to you in a moment. We're just waiting for him to come over, but George Kambosos, his name's popped up a lot. You know, could that be a potential fight for Yousef if he does beat Liam? Yeah,
well, it makes sense for the winner of this fight. I'm sure George Kambosos would like to do some big things internationally still. The Teofimo Lopez rematch is of obvious interest, but gee, this is a fight that just makes sense. The winner of this fight between two guys at lightweight, his weight division, he's just coming off that loss against the great Vasily Lomachenko. It would be a huge domestic showdown, a lot of personality, a lot of conflict you'd find between the teams, whoever it were to be. There'd be world rankings at stake. There'd be an opportunity to get back in a really good place internationally, but here at home it'd be a huge fight. So yeah, that is a fight that certainly makes sense for the winner of this.
What do you think happens in this fight? What's your prediction?
Oh, look, I don't know. I want to see what Yousef Dib, because I've been so impressed by Yousef Dib, because he's stepping up. No doubt he is stepping up here against Liam Wilson. He has not been to the level that Liam has. Liam's fought for 2 world titles, but Yousef Dib, he just seems so confident. We saw him beaten late last year by Ibrahim Bella. A performance again like that, and he won't go well at all against Liam Wilson. He might get himself stopped. But if he puts on the sort of show that he is telling us and telling himself that he is going to, he's every chance of causing what would be a major boil over. So I want to see the attitude of Yousef Dib, because I've been so impressed by just that quick chat we had with his opponent in Liam Wilson. And now Yousef Dib does join us, and you've got a bit of a sweat up there, mate. Did you do a bit more work than it looked like?
Oh, well, look, I am one of those guys that does get a sweat going. I think they call it hyperhidrosis, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Helps me make weight.
Hey, how was that getting to showcase your skills on live television? This is a bit of a different build-up for you than what you're used to.
It definitely is, and look, I feel like I deserve to be here. You know, I've spent a long time, as I've said earlier, you know, in obscurity and things like that. So having this platform, being on this stage, it's what I've worked for so long. It's I'm looking forward to taking it with both hands.
Now, I saw you look down at us and have a glance at Liam at one point. What goes through your mind where you see him in the flesh?
Look, not much. You know, I've seen him a couple of times in the lead up now, and you know, it is what it is. There's mutual respect there, I know, and I'm just looking forward to getting in the ring and getting my hands on him.
What would it mean, though, to have the name Liam Wilson on your resume? You know, a two-time world title challenger who on more than one occasion now has captured the attention of world boxing.
Yeah, look, I think it's a very big win for me. You know, once I get in there and get that W, it's a massive statement from me. Proves that I'm up there as one of the best fighters in Australia, and you know, because he's proven himself to be one of those. So that's what I'm aiming to do, and looking forward to proving that on Wednesday night.
Ben Damon's earmarked this one as possibly the fight of the night. What do you think, Georgie Rose?
Look, I really like our undercard. I think we've got some great 50-50 fights. This is definitely one of them. I think this is, not only is it a good fight, it's a good opportunity for whoever wins to move on to bigger and better things. I mean, we've seen how good Liam is as a super featherweight, the power that he carries. Will he carry that power up to lightweight? And we also seen how good Yui was, facing adversity, bouncing back up on our No Limit on Fox show. He's got heart, he's got power, and he can fight too. So this, without a doubt, is one that you have to tune into.
Your brother moved up a weight division during his career from featherweight to welterweight late in his career. It didn't go to plan. Has he talked to you a bit about that and maybe some of the challenges that Liam might face next week?
Look, I think with that one, obviously that was a big jump, and you know, that was just a great opportunity against Amir Khan at the time. But obviously for Liam, I've always looked at Liam like he's a big guy at super featherweight. You know, I knew he was going to come up to the lightweight division. And like I said earlier, it's a fight that I've earmarked with my trainer that, you know, it's a fight that could possibly happen, and I'm just really glad it's here now.
Was it a conversation that you guys had after the loss to Oscar Valdez in Arizona, saying, right, now's the time to move up a division?
Well, look, there's been the opportunity. I mean, he's had 2 world title shots. Performed great in both of them and came very, very bloody close in both fights. But now he's got to look at his career, what he wants to do. And there's some great fights for him at lightweight. There's a lot of really good talent at lightweight, and Yui's obviously the first guy that's there available for him. And this one will be a really good fight, and it'll be a good test to see, is Liam Wilson able to handle it at lightweight against a guy of Yui's calibre?
Well, and is Liam Wilson, as I asked Ben a moment ago, still the same fighter that he was, you know, a couple of years ago, 12 months ago, or have those world title losses potentially started to take their toll?
Well, one thing that I can say confidently about Liam is that he bounces back from a loss really well. This time though, he's coming up in weight, which is a whole new, a whole new ball game for him. So while he does bounce back from loss as well, this is coming up in weight. It's a tough fight, but he really wants fights at lightweight. I know he keeps calling out George Kambosos. I know Yui's also called out George Kambosos. For a guy that's achieved what he has as a lightweight and as an Australian boxer, George Kambosos is a big target for these guys. So it's a fight that they both want, and if they can prove how good they are next Wednesday night, it'll show whether that fight's worthy.
Well, you've mentioned the name George Kambosos, but certainly Liam's probably talked about him a little bit more, saying that this fight camp is all in preparation for that fight. Do you think he's possibly looking past you in some ways?
Look, I believe he's got that respect for me. You know, I've been in there against his teammates, so they know what I can do. You know, whether he's looking past me or not, that's got nothing to do with me. My eyes are set on Liam Wilson. I've made that mistake in the past, and look, do I think that there is a bit of complacency? I believe so, you know, like whether he cares to admit it or not. But once you've been at that world level and you've got to come back down a notch or two, it is sort of hard to you know, keep that same level of intensity. But in saying that, I've prepared for the absolute best Liam Wilson. I know that he's a very dangerous guy, and I know what he can do, and I've made sure that I've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. So ready to go.
Well, you look ready to us. Appreciate your time, Yui. Let you go and cool down, and we'll see you next week. And
thank you, guys.
from the lightweights to the heavyweights, we're going to do something a little bit different now, because there's a fair few big boys in action next Wednesday night. We're going to put the big boys to the test and see how strong they really are. It's over to you, Ben Damon.
Thank you very much, Megan. Yeah, we have 3 heavyweight fights on this card, so we're going to have a heavyweight showdown here today with each of the fighters getting a chance at the punching machine. We're going to see who the biggest puncher is out of all of them. And now, one of them hasn't turned up. Johan Lind was meant to be first up. Instead, his opponent is Liam Taliva'a, so we'll get Liam to come over. Liam has 2 knockouts in his 5 professional wins so far. Liam, are you any good at this?
I guess we've got to see, eh?
All right, let's go. You get 2 shots. Get into it, give us your first one, give us your best, and then you'll get another go. This is Liam Taliva'a to start us off. He's a southpaw, but he's going to throw a big right hand to start us off. So we'll see what sort of a benchmark that is. One more for you. He's going to go now with the left hand. So the southpaw switches from the orthodox stance, and they caught it cleanly. Come around this way. Liam, how do you feel about that? I know the backstory with you fighting as a southpaw, but in fact being right-handed. So did you expect that would be the better way?
Yeah. But I feel like there should be a third one.
All right, we're showing some of your highlights. A massive knockout that we saw on a Tim Tszyu undercard. That'd be your big punching highlight so far?
Yeah, 100% it is, yes, it is.
And tell us about this fight with Johan Lind, who hasn't turned up here today.
Yeah, he's not here. I don't know where he's at, but yeah, like, just got to go in there and do our thing and yeah, showcase my boxing skills, and when it comes, and we might see another replay of that on that Tim Tszyu night, so yeah.
All right, well, the very best of luck. That is Liam Taliva'a. That'll take us to the second of our heavyweight punches now. This is John Malia. Now, he's undefeated in 6 professional fights with 5 stoppages. John, you've already said to me that you're no good at this. Why is that?
I just never have it easy in the island, so get to punt coconut trees, so.
All right, we'll give it a go. You get 2 shots here. Now, as I mentioned, he's stopped all but one of his opponents so far. 5 stoppages in his 6 fights so far. He's undefeated the big heavyweight. And he's just got past Liam Taliva'a with his first punch there. So just slides into first place. John Malia. Sorry, 9-2-0-1 was Liam Taliva'a. So he still is in front. So Liam is still in front. 9-2-0-1 is our leading score. How'd you feel they came out?
Oh, lucky I hit it. To be honest, I was too scared to hit something else, to be honest.
Tell us about this fight, you and Brandon Gratch, because we all saw him in action in that fight with Liam, one of the most incredible bouts that we've ever seen on main event. What are you going to do in a fight like this?
You know, it's an exciting fight. We're just grateful for the opportunity to be here and showcase what we have. In terms of the fight, you know, we all know one punch can change the game, so we'll see what happens on the night.
Can't go the distance this fight, can it?
Oh, man, we're both power punchers. You saw what happened in the last fight, and, you know, in a blink of an eye, you don't want to miss any actions, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks so much. That is John Malia. Next up, it is his opponent. It's Brandon Gratch, the Bull, one of many fighters here with a black eye today. How's preparations been going for a really tough fight here against another undefeated fighter?
Yeah, good. Obviously, as you can see, been doing all the hard yards. We're just about wrapping up, so I'm getting in ready to throw hands.
Some people have you the favourite to win the punch-off here. Is that justified?
We'll see. We'll find out.
All right, you get 2 shots. Have a go. This is Brandon the Bull Gratch. Of course, we saw him in that incredible fight with Liam Taliva'a last year in Newcastle. Now he heads to Wollongong, and he takes on the undefeated John Malia. Let's see how he goes with a big right hand. But it is still Taliva'a who leads the way with 9-2-0-1. So Liam Taliva'a out in front, and Gratch goes bang. So Liam still leads, but Brandon, how'd you feel?
Oh, just getting warmed up, mate.
Just getting warmed up. Well, next Wednesday night is when it really matters. What are you expecting from John Malia, a big puncher? Because as we're seeing right now, we know exactly what you can do. We've seen a little bit of what he can do as well.
Yeah, look, I haven't seen heaps on him. From what I can see, obviously he can punch, but he's a big boy, but there's no muscles on your chin, so we're keen to test that out.
And I wouldn't have thought this goes the distance. Are you seeing this as a fight where whoever can catch each other cleanly earliest wins the fight?
I think whoever's got the better game plan. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Who wants it more? Who's got the better game plan? And we go over things pretty meticulously, and we're well prepared, so it's going to be a good show.
All right, looking forward to seeing you in action. That is Brandon Gratch. And now we'll move to that cross-code heavyweight showdown. Billy Polkinghorn was trying to jump in there, but it will in fact be Curtis Scott. You just want to get straight in there? Just get straight in, all right? We won't muck around with Curtis Scott. Not a bad first effort. Didn't seem to put everything into that, so Curtis Scott gets another shot at it. And there's more on that. But it's still Liam Taliva'a out in front. Curtis didn't even put gloves on there. Didn't even worry about wrapping the hands. You just wanted to get straight into the action.
Yeah, there's a bit of a crowd there, mate. I was a little bit nervous coming up. I just wanted to get into it and get it over and done with.
You can't be getting nervous because the Wynn Entertainment Centre is going to have a huge crowd, and you're going to be facing a giant of a man, and he is a big fella, Barry Hall. What are you feeling about this fight?
Mate, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Trained so hard for this camp. I've ticked every single box, and it's nearly go time. Looking forward to it.
It was a very aggressive version of Curtis Scott we saw against Joey Leilua. Is that what you do against the big fella, or are you going to be a bit more meticulous and try and find openings?
That's just my nature, especially in the boxing ring. I don't play games in the ring, so I'm going to come out and I'm ready to fight. Obviously, I'm not going to come out there throwing stupid punches. I'm going to pick my shots and box well, but don't expect me to take a backward step because that's not a part of my nature at all.
Who do you think is the bigger puncher? Because I think we're just about to find out. He's going to step up shortly. Do you think you're a bigger puncher than Barry Hall?
I'm not too worried about that. We're both big men and we both hit hard. So, we're going to see that on Wednesday night. And, this is hard to tell. It's hard to tell, you know what I mean? You get clipped in the chin, anyone will go to sleep. In the heavyweight division, if you get hit hard in the chin, yeah, it's lights out.
10 kilos, the difference they're saying between the pair of you on weigh-in day. Is that what you expect, or are you a bit bigger this time than last?
Could be a little bit more. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what he's weighing in at. But it doesn't worry me at all. Weight's not if there's a weighing competition, like Yousef said, the elephant would be the king of the jungle, you know what I mean? I'm not concerned about weight. I know my ability and I know what I can do, so looking forward to it.
All right, thank you very much. That's Curtis Scott. We'll bring in his opponent now, who is Barry Hall, who's just having a chat with his trainer over here. Barry, how are you feeling about this? Liam Taliva'a leads the way at the moment. Do you think you're a bigger puncher than these guys?
I've got no idea. I've never actually hit one.
Well, don't miss it.
No. No, my trainer just said, watch my head.
Yeah.
We don't want to be out with a cut before I start, but and these things don't punch back, so it'd be a bad start from a boxing show's point of view.
Well, it's almost a body shot for you at your height, punching down onto something like that. And I guess standing next to Curtis Scott, there's a bit of that as well. You're going to be the much bigger man next Wednesday night, aren't you?
Yeah, it's obviously distance is a big thing in boxing, and we've tried to use it to our advantage, so hopefully that pays off. But he's a ball and comes forward, so distance is going to be a key.
Is that what you're expecting from him? He's just going to charge you like he did against Joey Leilua? Because a lot of these heavyweights are trying to say it's going to be a chess match, but yours actually could be, couldn't it?
I don't think he's got many other ways. He's very much a novice. He's had a couple of fights and a couple of good wins, but his tactics are come forward, put pressure on, and be a little bit sporadic, so that's what we're expecting. All
right, we'll let you get into your two punches here and try and steal the lead from Liam Taliva'a, who was the first of our contestants and still leads the way, but this is big bad Barry Hall. And he won't catch Taliva'a with that, but he gets one more shot at it. Barry Hall, who take on Curtis Scott in what is our co-main event next Wednesday night. And he's connected solidly there, but won't get it. Barry, how do they feel?
Not that good, but maybe I need another training camp, but is what it is.
Yeah, all right. Just your prediction for next Wednesday night. It's a very important fight for you because I know boxing is such an important thing to you, and you don't have a professional win yet, incredibly, but you have a chance to do something special. What happens in this fight?
Look, it's a big night for me, as you said. It's make or break. I need to win to move forward, and yeah, it's huge for me. So I'm looking forward to it. I just want it to happen now. I've done all the hard work. We're starting to taper now. I'm starting to get keen, so I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck, Barry Hall. We'll talk to you later on. That is Barry Hall. They're all of our heavyweights. So the winner of the heavyweight challenge is Liam Taliva'a.
Yeah, thank you, Benny. That was a bit of fun. Liam Taliva'a, the strongest of the big men. Your thoughts on that?
Look, I'm not surprised. Do not sleep on Liam Taliva'a. I mean, he was this close to winning the fight against Brendan Gratch. He had that knockout power. He put Brendan down, but obviously got caught in the second round. But, mate, it just shows what our heavyweights have in store for Wednesday night. Johan Lin didn't get a chance to respond, but maybe he'll try to respond in the ring.
Let's bring Benny Damon back into it as well. But interesting, though, that... oh, here he is, big bad Barry Hall. Come on in, Baz.
Crashing the party.
We're just about to talk about you. Not as strong as your opponent, Curtis. You okay about that?
No, I'm not okay about it, but it's the last time we're going to lose in the next week or so.
I thought you'd top the charts.
Well, yeah, I'm more of a speed man, so yeah, speed kills.
It's probably good for him not to think that Baz is going to come out and rip his head off. Better just to play it safe in this sort of challenge and surprise him when you're in the ring.
Well, I've never hit one of those before. I take my kids to these things all the time and walk past them, but yeah, it's a bit of fun, but yeah, not reading too much into it.
Look, it's an awkward one though, and right, like you said, you're built for speed. We saw the footage of you last week training. How quick are you looking at the moment? It's unbelievable, the speed that you have at your age. A lot of people are talking about your age, but you've got so much speed still in the ring. Is that your plan coming into Curtis?
Oh, look, it's always a plan for me. Look, I think in terms of my boxing ability and my speed, it's something I haven't lost, and I don't need to do this. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't know that I could hold myself in good stead in the boxing ring. I don't need to be punched around. Like, look at my head. So yeah, I'm doing this for a good reason.
Talk to us a bit about your preparation for this fight, not just physically, but mentally as well, because you've spoken about, you know, perhaps not being in the right headspace going into that Sonny Bill fight. What have you done differently this time to ensure that you're 100% right to go in all areas? Yeah, look, I've ticked all the boxes this time, and you know, obviously physically you've got to be in right, but you know, mentally is the other thing, and it's something I've really worked on, and I've ticked that box this time, and I'll leave no stone unturned. So I'm just looking forward to getting in there now. I've done all the hard training. I've got through it really well, no injuries, and yeah, I just want it to happen now. How excited are you about this one, George?
I'm pumped. I think it's a great fight. I think that the stylistically, it's a very good matchup. I said earlier, I think the speed of Barry is going to be on show very early, and if Curtis can't get through that, then it's going to be an early night for Curtis. But Curtis is a young bull, and he's a very deceptively powerful for his size. So everyone keeps asking me who's going to win. I really don't know. I think that it can go either way. I think they've both got great attributes, and it's going to make for really entertaining viewing. What do you say to people that say, well, there's a 20-year age gap, you know, Curtis is going to, you know, he's younger, he's going to be fitter, he's going to be sharper, you know, what do you say to people that come up to you and have said that in the lead up to this fight? The only thing I will say to that is if I look like Barry Hall, I'd be fighting blokes anywhere and everywhere, every day of the week. I wouldn't give a stuff. If I look like Barry Hall, I would be fighting anyone. He's in amazing shape, he's very fast, he's very powerful, and he's a great athlete. He's been doing this for his life, you know, he's a very good athlete. So, yeah, I just wish I looked like Barry. You're not far off it, George. I mean, I know you don't want to look past Curtis, you've made that clear. You have mentioned the name Paul Gallen, though, if all goes to plan. Any other names out there that are on your mind? Should all go to plan? Nah, look, I'll speak about guys when it's time to speak about them. It's just not the right time. I'm in fight week. I've got Curtis Scott in front of me. If I don't get past Curtis, the train stops for me. So it's pretty important, you know, the next week or so for me.
I heard Curtis's trainer say yesterday that they might be looking at Sonny Bill if all goes to plan. Thoughts on that?
Well, look, great if he can get past me. That's why wouldn't you? He's a young bloke with aspirations, and yeah, why wouldn't you? So
we've just turned around here. Have a look at Curtis. Tell us what you see when you're watching him do his thing in the ring.
Oh, he's obviously an aggressive young man who comes to fight. So, you know, in terms of boxing ability, you know, he's got all the basics down pat. But the boxing nous is something you need to gain over years and years of doing this. It's something I haven't seen in his fights, but he just bulls his way through and pushes his way forward with aggression, and it gets him through. So that's something we're sort of prepared for.
All right, Baz, appreciate your time. We'll let you go and get organised and get in the ring. We're going to bring Ben Damon in now for a chat, and Georgie as well. May as well stay with us. Ben, what did you make of that punching challenge a moment ago?
Yeah, it was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Liam Talibar, he's clearly a very big puncher. We saw that in that fight with Brandon Gratch. Brandon Gratch came back and got him with a better one, though. One of the best short left hooks you'll ever see. But Liam Talibar is a big puncher. And amazing to think he fights as a southpaw, but it was his right hand that did the damage on the punching machine.
Do we read anything into the fact that Curtis outpunched Big Bad Barry?
Curtis didn't put a lot of effort into it. He didn't put anything on his hands. He was wearing a hoodie and he just sort of stepped up and threw a big punch. Barry put a bit more effort into it, so I guess he won't like that fact, but it was also about a metre too short for him. So Barry Hall was essentially throwing a rip to the body on the punching machine, whereas Curtis Scott was throwing a big overhand right. So I don't think we read too much into that, and we're interested, as always, to see Curtis Scott go through his paces, because it was last time out ahead of his fight with Joey Leilua that we saw him on the pads, and he really didn't look that impressive. And again, he doesn't look like he's got much, but when he gets in there, like he did against Joey Leilua, there's clearly plenty of power, and not only that, there's aggression, and he knows how to move as well, George.
He's very deceptively strong, Curtis, but I think Barry made a really good point before. When you see Curtis move, he doesn't look as seasoned or doesn't look as slick as Barry. When you see Barry move in the ring, he's got great footwork. He's got serious speed in his hands. He looks like a boxer. He moves like a boxer, and he fights like a boxer. Curtis is a guy who's very strong, who is, you know, deceptively strong. Like I keep saying, when he lands on you, you don't expect it.
Barry's a monster too, the size of him at the moment, and he's stacked on a heap of weight, a heap of muscle since his most recent fight against Sonny Bill. He's going to be the much bigger man in this ring, 10 kilos, maybe even more bigger than Curtis Scott. That has to be an advantage at this level of heavyweight boxing.
You'd think that, but then look what happened with Joey Leilua. Joey Leilua came in about 30 kilos over, and I keep saying, Joey looked amazing walking into that ring. He was huge. So size doesn't matter for Curtis. Curtis doesn't worry about the size, and he's a guy who's got no fear coming forward. So he'll look to come forward early. Barry will look to move and land them nice shots on him.
Has Barry gone? He's done a runner, has he?
No, he's behind us. He's getting his hands wrapped. But just on Curtis, he's got some serious ambitions, though, doesn't he? I read that his team are hoping he might be able to fight for an Australian cruiserweight title by the end of the year.
Yeah, so clearly he doesn't see himself as a heavyweight. He wants to strip a little bit of weight off and go down to cruiserweight, which makes sense because that is more his natural division. And those sorts of ambitions to fight for an Australian title, to win an Australian title, that means that he's taking this very seriously. He told us during the All In promotion that he is all in on his boxing career, and clearly that is the case. So a loss is really unthinkable against someone like Barry Hall, a crossover athlete, because he wants to fight against proper boxers, and if he's going to do that, he needs to be winning, and winning impressively like he did against Joey Leilua, against this man Barry Hall, who we can see just the size and the range of him, and that long left hand, the jab, if he can put it into place, could be so important in keeping Curtis Scott away. If he can box, he was a very good amateur, and if he can bring that back and keep Curtis away, that'll be the key for him.
Mate, a strong stiff jab can throw off absolutely anyone. You've got a big hand like that in your face all day, it really will throw you off, and that's something that Curtis is going to have to be able to deal with.
No doubt about that.
Well, George, we're going to let you jump out. We're going to bring Curtis in for a chat. Curtis, good to see you. I think Barry wasn't that impressed that you outdid him in that punching challenge.
Oh, did I outdo him, did I? It's always going to happen, I guess.
And you, as we were just saying, as you said straight afterwards, it didn't look like you really put everything into it anyway.
You're wearing a hoodie, you didn't wrap your hands, and you just sort of wandered over and threw a shot.
Well, I've got to be modest here. Jeez, you're making me blush. Right, I haven't had this much bloody compliments in a while. But I didn't really want to do it. It was a bit, felt a bit, everyone was eyes in watching. I was like, I don't want to be the lowest score, but I guess Barry was the lowest scorer by the sounds of it.
How far do you think you've come from the last time we spoke to you before the open workouts going into the Joey Leilua fight to, fast forward a few months going into this fight? How much do you think you've grown as a fighter?
Yeah, massively. Just seeing the steps I've taken and just the quality of sparring I've been doing, it's just growing and growing and growing. With that Joey fight, I wouldn't be able to last a few rounds with some of the guys I've been doing, 6 rounds every week with. I wouldn't last with them for that camp, but this camp now, it's been great that I've been able to get through a lot of sparring, some really quality guys, which is good. So I'm in a really good stead heading into this fight.
Turn around and have a look at Barry Hall, because this is the man he'll be facing next Wednesday night. He is obviously getting on in age, but he is a mountain of a man.
Yeah, he sure is. He's a big boy. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I can't wait.
That jab could be important for him. I'm sure he'll try and use it to keep you away. The distance of this fight could be so important. How do you get around a jab like that?
You have to find out Wednesday night. I've got really good reaction time, and hopefully he's flicking that jab out all night, because I've got something for him when it comes out.
We saw what you did against Joey Leilua, an aggressive start and a quick finish ultimately. Is it the same version tactically of you that we see in this fight, or because of the experience and the amateur background of Barry Hall, do you have to do something different?
No, nothing really changes, to be honest. Come out, put the pressure on, get the finish. That's it. This guy doesn't really want to be in here. I think his coach is loving it more than he is, to be honest. He's trying to look at that Paul Gallen fight, and that's all he's spoken about this whole camp is Paul Gallen. And he's going to be in for a shock on Wednesday night, that's for sure. Why don't you think he wants to be here? He's already looking past me. He's already speaking about Gallen. He's got this weird obsession with Paul Gallen, and that guy's retired. Gal's retired, and he has not stopped speaking about him non-stop. So he's already counting his chickens before they've hatched, I think. And I've taken that personally this camp, and that's been a massive motivator for me. And I can't wait for Wednesday night to, ruin his plans.
Do you feel offended by the fact that he is focusing on Paul Gallen?
I guess it's just great motivation for me, you know what I mean? So, you look for every little thing to motivate you, and them days where it's been tough and you're alone and you don't want to train, but you train anyway, they're the things I think back on. He's really outspoken, and I can't wait to get in there and shut him up.
What about you? Because I read yesterday your team are already looking at maybe Sunnyville if you get past this one.
Well, that's just logic. We're looking for moving up the pecking order. We're not looking to go backwards. So that's what my manager's come out and said, and it's really a no-brainer, to be honest. It's just putting the pieces together. Obviously, I want to keep moving forward, so that could be something that could happen in the future.
Paul Gallen clearly had a fight against Barry Hall, and it was declared a draw. He's someone you're reasonably close to. Has he had any advice for you about fighting Barry?
Yeah, he's given me some advice, but I'll keep that in-house. Obviously, Gal doesn't really like him that much, and that's pretty obvious with the way they go back and forth on social media. So.
He really doesn't like him, does he? They've really kicked it off in the last couple of weeks. What's he saying in-house, Gal, about Barry Hall?
He just wants me to get the win. He's just purely trying to help me to get the win, and Gal's been taking a back seat just to come in, and he's been pushing me and helping me in areas where he can help me. So that's all it is. Gal's an ultimate competitor, and he's good to have around camp, and he's good to have him in my corner. So.
All right, well, Curtis, appreciate your time. We'll let you get off. We look forward to a few one-liners from you at the press conference next week.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right. Well, up next in the ring, it is the star attraction next Wednesday night. It's the one and only Sammy Goodman.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. The monster has roared! He's done it again!
We hustled our way to the front row, and we yelled out at him, he yelled back, and we ended up in the ring. I've been mandatory for over a year. Either give up the belts or fight me. Let's get it on.
Sam Goodman, the mandatory world title challenger against the world number 8, who calls himself Rockman from Thailand.
This is a dangerous fight for Sam Goodman. He didn't need to take this risk.
A fight like this is only going to better me.
He's putting it all on the line in this fight, but it's to prepare him for what lays around the corner.
I'm coming up against one of the best fighters pound for pound in the world, and I've got to be at my best to do that.
Goodman sends him down.
If I can't beat this guy, there's no chance I'm beating him away. I'll back myself to win every day of the week. Everything I do from this moment forward is in preparation to win all those belts.
Oh, it doesn't get any more dangerous than this for Sam Goodman, who's going all in one final test before his world title shot later this year. Ben, is he a brave man, Sammy Goodman, for doing this, or is he maybe a little bit mad?
Yeah, well, it's something he doesn't have to do, that's for sure, but it's been successful for Tim Tszyu. It's been successful for plenty of others globally. Activity is very important. At that level, it is essential as well. So I think this makes sense for Sam Goodman. It's a fighter that he really should beat in Chainoi Worawut, but he's number 8 in the world for a reason. So it's a test. It's another building block for Sam Goodman, because if he wants to get in the ring with Naoya Inoue and be a chance, he has to beat blokes like this convincingly, and he has to continue to improve, and he needs to take a lot of confidence into a fight like that, because Inoue, the monster, is the real deal.
How are your nerves, George? Did you try and talk him out of it before he signed on the dotted line?
No, well, look, when they look you in the eye and tell you that this is what is the best way for them, and they're confident of doing it that way, then I'm all supportive of it. You know, I love the opportunities when we get to have our fighters fighting here in Australia, and I'll support it any time that they want to do it. So for me, it's huge. You know, it's huge for him to be going back to Wollongong, and it's a big chance for Sam to grow again as a fighter. There is so much pressure on him in this fight. He knows what he's risking. He knows the guy that he's up against has knockout power, even though we all believe that Sam will win, because we believe Sam will win every fight. It's a fight that's very dangerous for him. So he's taking a lot of pressure into this one, and it'll prepare him for fighting the monster when that time comes around.
Yeah, why Worawut? I mean, are there any similarities between him and Inoue that Sam can, I suppose, gain from taking on this fighter going into his world title clash?
Well, look, he was available to fight, which is a very important note. But also, he's got that knockout power. Now, in a way, he's come up in however many weight divisions. He's carried that power in every weight division. He's still got knockout power here. So to be prepared for a guy who can knock you out when they land, that's what makes him a really good opponent for Sam. But like we said, a fight that we expect him to win, but all the pressure's on him.
They're tough, they're tricky, they're warriors in the ring, aren't they, the Thai fighters?
Oh, absolutely. And it was interesting talking to Sam Goodman about the challenge that Worawut provides, because he's looked at him a lot more in depth than most, clearly, because he's fighting him next week. But he sees a few similarities stylistically. He throws a long right hand to the body, does Worawut, which is one of the key weapons for Naoya Inoue, so he's been working on that. And if you want to find out if this is a challenge for Sam Goodman, you just have to talk to him about it, because he's the one who really seems to have a little bit of apprehension about Worawut, and he knows that he's the real deal. He knows that he's someone he has to look out for, because he's had a great look at him, and he knows that he punches hard, he moves around well, and Sam's going to be at his absolute best if he's going to beat Worawut next week. That's what makes this such an exciting fight, and the fact that it means that if he wins, he fights against the undisputed champion of the world and one of the pound-for-pound kings at the moment in Inoue. So a lot on the line, a huge crowd in Wollongong as always, supporting one of their own, but a really tricky fight, this one.
Yeah, Sam was probably hoping he'd be here today so he could size him up.
He was, yeah.
With a few days to go, but he's going to have to wait until the press conference on Monday, I believe, to see him in the flesh.
Yeah, look, we're all feeling the same too. He hasn't landed yet, so we all want to see what he actually looks like in the flesh, because, travelling across, you get to watch footage, you see photos, you need to see someone in the flesh to get a feel for him, and Sam will get that on Monday at the press conference, so he'll get his moment. But Sam's been handling these big moments when they're thrown at him. He's been forced into being a headline star, and he's soaking it all up. I think he's owning the moment, and he'll own it even more down here in Wollongong.
Certainly owned the moment when you both were in Tokyo a few months ago.
Yeah, well, he got in the ring. We pushed him in the ring, but he got in the ring and then got his call-out moment with Inoue. It was a fantastic atmosphere, just looking at the Tokyo Dome filled with Japanese supporters, seeing how big a deal Inoue is, and then seeing Sam embrace that moment, and then just watching the Japanese boxing public and how much they appreciate Sam Goodman. He had a huge line of fans, more than he does in Wollongong, I think.
Yeah, look, it's rare that Sam gets an opportunity to stand over the top of someone too, and he felt very tall that night. So, you know, that's a great advantage for him, knowing that when he's stepping in the ring with him, he'll be the bigger guy. He's had that experience. He's been to Japan. He's seen the atmosphere, and he's actually got some support over there. So, it's going to be great for him.
All right, well, let's bring Sammy in for a chat. He's just standing to the side. George will jump out. Come on in.
How are we, guys?
Yep. Or George is staying with us. How was that for you, Sammy? You look great. You look ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. I'm right where I need to be. So I'm in the best shape of my career, and I truly believe I'm going to put on a good show on Wednesday night.
You just need to see your opponent in the flesh. You're just saying he arrives tonight. So, you know, it would have been good today to see him in the flesh. You're going to have to wait until next week.
Yeah, look, it would have been nice to see a few things, but I think I've seen all I need to see, to be honest, in video footage, and I just truly really back my own skill set and what I can do in the ring. So I'm supremely confident. I think I'm the best in the division, so bar none. So if I can't be ready for what's what's coming on Wednesday night, look, it doesn't really matter. So I'm ready. I'm where I need to be.
And it must be nice to get through an open workout without almost coming to blows with your opponent, as was the case with Mark Schleves a few months ago. Are you enjoying what's, I suppose, more of a civilised build-up, or are you missing that sort of, you know, the ugliness, the war of words?
I just take it how it is, really. It's been a little bit more low-key in terms of, you know, no real heated face-offs or anything like that at the moment. But look, I'm sure that there'll be a bit of tension once I come face-to-face with him, once I see my opponent. You know, I never want to be their mate, but I'm sure, you know, he can't speak a lick of English, so it's probably going to be a little bit respectful. But, yeah, I just take it as it comes and don't build it into something that's not.
It's made your job a bit easier, not having to separate the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Sam approaches every fight professionally, so it was a very interesting build-up, the Sleeves fight. It was very entertaining, and we saw a great performance from Sam, but Sam's grown with every fight too, so I think we'll see another great performance from him on Wednesday night.
What's going to happen in this fight, Sammy?
Look, I get my hands raised. I just got to get the win, and it's victory by any means necessary. Like the theme is for this fight, I'm risking it all. I've got to go out there, and I've just got to get the job done. I've got to win, but I've got to win in style. This is an audition for all the belts. That's what I'm coming for. I want all the belts, and this is a stepping stone towards that. So, look, I'm not taking this lightly. Like I said, I'm in the best shape of my career. Everything I've done for this has been dialed in, on point. I'm ready to go.
Mad Bunch are ready. Tickets still available though, George?
Yeah, absolutely. There's still tickets available through Ticketmaster. Make sure you head on there or jump on the No Limit website, hit the link on No Limit website and grab some tickets. Come join the Mad Bunch and watch a really entertaining performance from Sam Goodman. It's a huge opportunity for Sam before he takes off and leaves us here on Australian shores for what's going to be a shot of greatness.
Well, that wraps up our open workout. Stay with us for a moment because just a reminder what's coming up Monday. We've got the official press conference that's live from the Wollongong Entertainment Centre from midday on Fox League. We're back the same time the following day for the weigh-in. That's on Fox League from midday. And then on Wednesday, our coverage from 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or Eastern Time rather, with our main event coverage from 7 p.m. So if you haven't already, order this fight now. You can scan the QR code. You can go to mainevent.com.au. Another reason why people need to order this fight?
Look, yeah, you're going to see world-class boxing, world-class skills, and you're going to see Australia's next world champion. So tune in.
Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next week. George, thank you. Thank you to Ben Damon as well. We leave you now with a little taste of what's to come next Wednesday. Thanks for your company.
Think about it, Sammy. You're risking an undisputed world title fight.
Let's do it. I'm all in.
So you've called me out.
Let's see what you got, old man.
You really want to roll against me?
He's got a puncher. Two friends turned rivals. Welcome to the British Grand Prix. This is the battle for victory in Formula One. Oh my word!
60. Show's over.
Oh my God.